What is going on, guys? It's been a minute. Hi. How are you? Is everybody doing good tonight? It's been a minute. I thought I would hop on here real quick and knock out a repair, do a little live, prove that I'm still alive on my channel, and just say hello. What's going on? Tonight, unfortunately, my partner in crime, Dave Wonder's internet has gone out, so I'm sure you'll be getting an update from him soon. But unfortunately, he couldn't go live tonight, so I whipped up some little graphics and had to readjust everything here and try to make this work. So hopefully I sound good. Hopefully I look decent. And I guess if you're tuning in, you're going to learn how to repair a Kriegaf from Hellboy. This is from old school Mezco. This is from Hellboy. And this is Common Break with these figures. They use these giant, I call them barbell pegs. Look at the size of these things. Look at the size of that. That's like the size of, what do you think? I don't know. What is it, a Jawbreaker, maybe? Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. I'd say about Jawbreaker. Yeah, that's pretty good size. Like the marble, the big marble that you use, to hit other marbles. Would that be like the slammer marble? Like if you were talking about like Pogs? Somebody's got to know what that is. Anyways, we're gonna repair this tonight, real quick. Just like I said, thought I'd do a real quick repair here. I'm also noticing that these arms are kind of loose. He didn't ask me to repair those, but we might need to, just because this figure's awesome and he needs to be at his best. So, I actually removed this one prior to starting the stream, but I wanted to show you guys how to remove this, or why this breaks, really. And it's a common problem. First, I will say hello to Clayton Stevens. What's going on, man? Billy Moon, one of my phenomenal, I don't know, I'll just say like an old friend at this point, but also one of the patrons on the channel. So I do appreciate you, Billy. And my man Samurai Chris, another long time awesome friend and another patron, which is really cool. It's really cool that you guys had your notifications on, because I did not tell anybody about this. This is just a little impromptu stream, and just was interested. I was like, I wonder who's got notifications on. And if anything, one for the archives, right? One more for the books, right, Samurai Chris? Okay, so I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to show you guys why this thing is breaking on so many of these figures. You can see, like, this is a really hollow plastic here. It's like, I don't know if that'll come through, but it's like very, very hollow. There's also something inside of here, which I really hate that. I don't know. I don't think I can get that out. Not without breaking something, and I'm probably just going to leave that in there. But anyways, look at this. So this is supposed to move, right? This is supposed to twist and turn. It's a giant ball in there, right? Well, I'll show you what's going on. First, we got to heat it up. And I like to give it a good heating, just to make sure this is going to come out in hopefully one solid pop. Get this nice and heated up. It doesn't take much. Like I said, the plastic's kind of weird. So check this out. This is wild. So I'll use a flathead screwdriver for this. So you can see it's already soft. It's got a kind of bend to it. And look at that. See how it starts just rising up? That should just be popping out, but it becomes stuck in there. And the plastic is just kind of, I mean, look at that. It's just going with it. So first, what we have to do is break this thing free, essentially. And it's I know this is probably off-putting, but yeah, what we got to do is get around the side. I'm trying to do this on camera and not take out a thumb or my eye. Okay, so here's the funny part. If you can kind of finagle it around here, you'll notice that there's a hole already in it. Whew, I'm glad that didn't go flying. I really thought it would. There's a hole already in it. Both of these have a hole right down the center here, which you could actually, technically, you could use if you wanted to go ahead and, you know, if you had a screw thick enough to put through here. But I don't. This is the biggest screw I have, and this is the one I'm going to use just because we want something crazy strong that's going to be able to go through here and also withstand all of that movement. You saw that's a lot. That took a lot to get out of there, and I want to make sure that once this gets into the client's hands that he's not going to just twist it in half. We don't want that. So as cool as it would be to actually use this right here, I'm not going to do that. I actually got to drill a hole all the way through because I want a tight fit on this screw. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to take where it broke right here, which looks, it's really strange. It's super flat and it almost looks burned. I guess that's adhesive there, but it almost looks like a flame was taken to this, which is strange. But anyways, we're going to drill through here, drill through here. What's going to happen with this screw being so big, this might widen out a little bit. We might lose a lot of this piece of plastic right here, but I'm not worried about that. What I want is for this to fit nice and snug and for the fit to be very tight. And luckily what we can do, and we can actually practice here, is you can see where this is going to go through. And even without this, even without this piece right here, you can see that this screw is going to go all the way through here and not out the other side, but it's going to have plenty of room to insert itself here. Not only are we going to do that though, we're also going to drill a little bowl shape out right here so this screw fits nice and flush inside. Okay, so that way this isn't affecting any movement. Now, what we're going to need for this is a much larger gauge than I usually use. So luckily we'll use our little keyless chuck here. And I'm going to use a fairly large gauge. I'm not sure what gauge this is, but it's big. It's big. And we're going to have to kind of go around a little bit on this plastic as well. Let me put some of this other stuff up. We will be needing our... We actually might not need the sanding bit later on, but we'll see what's going on. Just want to say what's up. Let's see, Michael Acevedo, Esteban Barasa, my man. What's going on, Nacho? That's one of my patrons. Thank you for showing up. Darth G, what's going on? He says, "Aw, snap, look who's back." And Hank the Tank. Howdy, Billy. Howdy, chat. Howdy, Hank. Thanks for showing up, guys. Really appreciate it. Like I said, this was just a kind of a spur of the moment since, unfortunately, Dave can't go live tonight, and I figured, why not? I got a lot of toys to fix. Might as well fix some toys for you guys. It's been a minute. Let's knock the rust off, kick the dust off, and let's fix this Kriegaf. Or Kriegaffen, if it was two, which means war apes in German, for those of you who needed that history lesson. These were physically and mentally altered by the Nazis in the Hellboy books. And this is by Mezco, surprisingly. These are older Mezco figures, man, before they were getting into that cloth good game, which has really put them in quite a position for toy collectors. Okay, enough of that. Let's drill a hole through this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start... Basically, this is it. We're just going to drill a hole. I want to make sure that I can actually drill all the way through. So let me get a little bit of an extension here. Just a little bit. I'm going to extend that out just a little bit. And we're going to start by going right here. Kind of cool that I've got a little grip, honestly, through these holes. Okay. So we're going to drill straight. You're going to be careful because there is a hole, so it's gonna get to a point where it's probably gonna either lock or go right through a little quicker than you're used to. So don't let it jump on you. Slow and steady wins the race here, guys. We'll back up. I'm gonna go a little bit faster on the speed. Should probably be using my Dremel 4000 for this. This is a bit of a bigger job, but I'm gonna see if we can't do it with the little guy, little stylus here. I think we can do it. About to break through the other side. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely walked out of camera there. Let's move the camera so I don't rob you of any more important steps. Let's back up a little bit. It's getting a little hung up there. It's all right. Sometimes you gotta. I think we got it. Yeah, so we've got a nice clean hole drilled all the way through here. We're going to go back in the other side. And what we're going to do now is essentially we're just going to kind of wiggle this drill bit around to make this hole a little larger. Once again, we're going to be using this screw here. Basically, I just kind of use the strongest and longest screw that I can find generally for these, because you're going to need something incredibly strong that's going to go through here, and it needs to be long because you're dealing with, let's see what we're looking at. We're looking at about, I mean, this is a full 2 inches long. So that's substantial compared to a lot of the stuff that us 1/12 collectors are used to dealing with. So let's go ahead and move this around a little bit. Like I said, usually we don't have to use bits this large. Okay. Let's see if we can't get this to go through. I've got my handy dandy screwdriver. So you don't want it to be incredibly tight. We want it to have a snug fit, but if it's too tight, you got to think that these are actually sealed down the center. So there is risk of potential of this snapping if you were to put that screw in there. If that did, all you'd really have to do is make a bigger hole and just super glue the ball back together. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, if we can avoid it, that'd be nice. So once again, we're going to go back through. And you want to go through both ends. You want to turn it around and go through both ends just to make sure, because this isn't kind of a one size fits the problem issue. We're essentially making our own gauge for the hole here. Let's go ahead and see if this will fit through. It's kind of funny. I'm sitting here trying to put this through, and all the excess plastic is falling like through the holes that are already here. All right. Put this back on. All right, here we go. Feels pretty good. You'll kind of feel, you'll just feel it, like it's got a nice tension, I guess you'd say. I want to be careful here and not, put it through my hand. All right, let's go all the way through. We're all the way to the other side. We want to make sure that it's not just that, that thinner tip is all the way through. We want to make sure that the full width of the screw has gone all the way through, so we know that once we do lace this with super glue, put it back through, it'll go all the way. And that's what we want. So let's back this guy out all the way. And we're going to use a rounded burr bit. I actually got these not too long ago off Amazon, and man, this thing's been amazing. You got to see the size of this burr bit. It's really awesome. Never had one like a burr bit that's quite this large. You're looking at maybe like a 1/4 inch, which is awesome. And this is really going to help out in this repair today. So really glad I got these. What's going on, Brian Pena? It's good to see you too, man. I thought I would hop on real quick and just do a quick little stream for you guys since it's been a very long time. Okay, so since we're going to go out this end where it looked like I said, this is where it broke. So we're going to, where we drilled in, we're going to burrow out a hole here, a little bowl shape basically, to allow this screw to kind of hide in there. That way, whenever this is moving around, you're not getting that lump of the screw head, and we won't have to worry about sanding it down because this thing would be a nightmare to sand down. I would not sand this down while it was in plastic. I would have to take this probably to a table grinder and do so just due to the size. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drill in. That's got to be fun to listen to, huh? I'm doing everything with my styluses tonight, and it's going a lot slower normally than normal. If I was to use my 4000, it would go a lot faster. So, and we're gonna use the 4000. I don't want to sit here and do that all night. That would be ridiculous. Not to mention, it's really, I'm sure, annoying. I have no idea what this sounds like on your end, but it can't be. This is probably not the ASMR you were looking for. So let's go ahead and we're gonna use the 4000 here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in. This is probably gonna be louder. So I think what I'll do is I'll drop the audio down just a bit. We're getting jumpy tonight. That's you got to be careful. If you start seeing it jump like that, you need to back up a little bit and remove some of the plastic that's kind of getting balled up. Keep in mind that this is heating up a lot of plastic right now, and this is that old plastic too. You never know what it's going to do. So I want to make sure that this is good. We're definitely going to have to go in a little bit deeper here, but what I'm going to do is now I'm going to switch over from that bowl shape, and I'm going to go to this large fella here. And since we've already dremeled in to it, where did I put? I've got a couple here. Since we already dremeled that bowl shape in there, we can take this fella, kind of go down into the depth that we want. We'll just kind of even it out. And the cool thing about using that bowl shape earlier too is it gave us a perfect circle in there basically. And so now, you know, that allows us to, basically gives us a guide. All right. You can see it makes a mess. I mean, at the beginning of this paper towel was clean. Okay, so where we've drilled here, you can see now that we've got this nice crater here. And instead of drilling it all the way through, you can just turn it upside down, see if it'll fit, and that's exactly what we want. So that fits really well. And so what we can do now is we can start to screw this in here. And you can see I can actually do it with my hand, which is awesome. And we're going to stop right here. And we're going to grab our JV Super Weld, right? Make sure this is... it's getting close to needing a new bottle. This seems to have... keeps closing up on me, so it's about run its course. It's pretty low as well, so this bottle's done... it's done its job. I always keep one of these little pins nearby, though, if I can... The cool thing about JV Super Weld is that it usually only blocks up a little bit, so that's pretty cool. What's up? Is it, I hope I'm saying this all right, Josue Kale? Josue Kaye? JC, what's going on? Hopefully that's good. What's going on, man? Thank you for showing up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lace this here. And I'm going to give it a healthy amount, just because I do not want this thing coming loose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of be careful if you use that much super glue, though. It can drip. And like I said, since this is so nice that we can hold it by hand. And also you gotta be careful right here. It might, some of it might out. So the really cool thing about this too is now that we have this housing here, what we'll be able to do is even after this dries, we'll be able to screw this in to the hole that we're about to make in here. And that's just convenient. You know what I mean? And yeah, so let's let this dry a little bit, and you can actually see inside where the screw is, so that's pretty neat. So yeah, while that dries, we're gonna go ahead and do what we just did on this guy here. Now, like I said, what we might run into here is a situation where we start losing a lot of this plastic. This plastic might bow out. I'm gonna try my best to hollow out a piece here, and see if I can keep the integrity of at least the outer rim of this little peg here. And how you want to do that, close our super glue. How you want to do that is take a smaller gauge drill bit. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. It's still a large one, but not as big as this fella here that we're using to actually make our holes. So we're going to use this guy here. This is probably about a 1.6 or 7, maybe more. This might even be a 2, I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a smaller hole in here, and keep that straight as well. It's not going to go all the way through because basically this just isn't long enough. But what it will do is allow us to basically get it started, and it will act as a guide for us whenever we do use the larger gauge. So let's go ahead and drill a hole straight in. You'll notice what I'm doing is I kind of drill in a little bit and I back up. I drill in a little bit and back up because keep in mind, we're working with plastic. So all of that friction is causing heat, and that heat's going to build up and start melting that plastic, and we don't want it to melt. We just want to drill it out. So kind of go in and out a little bit, just at a nice pace to where you're not going to melt the plastic. I think I got halfway through. Let's see. Trying to see if I can see it in there. I think it might have gone halfway through. If not, it's really close. And you can see, though, that we've got a nice hole right there in the center. So that's good. Let's go and put this back in. I'm going to slowly Move it around a little bit. Like I said, I'm trying real careful to see if I can't keep the integrity of this outer peg plastic. Being real careful, moving real slow and steady. Okay, it's not too bad. It's a little off center right there, so we're gonna see if we can't go up a little bit with it. Yeah, and this plastic acts really weird. You'll notice whenever you add enough friction to it that it actually melts. Like earlier, we had these pieces right here coming off, right? But you have this smaller drill bit, and we're going in here at this, and it just kind of flakes and chips and crunches off a little bit. It's very, like I said, this plastic's very odd. Okay, look at my. Where do you see that? Dude, oh man, and I'm so sorry if this triggers anybody. So warning, gross thumb alert. I smashed my thumb in a tripod about a month or two ago, and I lost half of the nail. Look at that. Compared to this one's not doing so great either because I've been nervous. I think I chewed this one off like an idiot. But you can see, and just like the shape of this nail is insane. Like I think it's growing. Yeah, there's a divot right here, and I think it's starting to grow back. So do apologize for that. It's kind of painful, but it has hindered some work for sure. Anyways, let's get back to it. Okay, so now that we've drilled our hole just halfway really through here, I'm going to see if we can take our larger millimeter gauge and if this is going to work for us to basically act as a guide. Oh, I think so. Look at that. Looks like it's already starting to go all the way through. That's perfect. Great. So let's start slow here. I don't think it actually did go all the way through a minute ago. So we're going to have to kind of be careful here whenever we go through. We don't want it to melt this very, at least not a lot. Like I said, I'm trying real hard to keep the integrity of this center peg. Okay, come on, back up. Hopefully we've got enough room here. Let's see. There might not actually be enough to go all the way through. We'll drill what we can. All right. Okay. So we're not all the way through, so I'm going to have to extend this just a little bit. I don't like to do this a whole lot. So, at your own discretion, be very, very, very careful. You usually want to have a little more grip on this, so let's go ahead and alright, so we got a hole all the way through. So now what we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna go ahead and back this up a little bit, is we're gonna have to make the hole wider like we did a minute ago. The only difference is now we've got this spot right here. So I'm going to see if I can go in from this side first. And since I won't be going all the way through to the other side, gives us a little more to work with. Let's see what we got going on here. So we'll take this guy here and let's try it from this side real quick just to see. A little snug. Just a little snug. Let's see here. I want to make sure that I don't... What might happen is it might unhinge. What I don't want to do is actually twist it utilizing this part right here. And we might have to back this out one more time and add a little more glue on it, just due to this piece in the middle here being a little gappy. So let's go ahead and make the holes a little larger. Alright. Okay. Once again, let's see if we can go through here. I'm going to use the screwdriver for it if we can. Get this started. I feel like it's going to be a little too tight. I'm also going in there a little crooked, so let's kind of back that up a little bit. I feel like what's going to happen here is I'm going to try to go in through this and it's going to split, which isn't a problem because that doesn't have to be intact like in the middle part, but let's see. And it split right there. I figured it would. That was we were not working with a lot of real estate there, but that's all right. I still just want it, at least for the guide, to know where to stop putting that in. Let's see if we can. All right. Since that's already open, let's go ahead and see if this will go in. We'll just go into the back side here, see if this will, if it'll at least go all the way through. And if we can get it to go all the way through, then we're golden. Feels like it's gonna go. Yeah. This is feeling good. Oh yeah, perfect. Let's see, will it come out the other end? No, I guess not. Let's back it up. Back it up. All right. Let me kind of dust off my hands real quick. Here we go. All right. Let's see if we can back this up with just a regular screwdriver. See how looks like. I'm surprised. I would have thought that the JB Super Weld would have actually given a better hold here, but it doesn't look like it gripped as tight as I thought it would. So what we're gonna do is, and I'm thinking it's because there's that big gap in the center. I'm gonna try instead to hit it with the Ultra Gel control, since that'll expand a little more and gives us kind of that, I wouldn't say rubber hold, but it kind of has a, I don't know how to say it, like a softer grip almost. Like it's good for using on plastics that might bend, like maybe a strand of hair or a maybe a belt or straps or something like that on the figures. Okay, so that's nice and tight in there to that side. It's also kind of gooping out on me here, so I want to hurry up. I'm going to go ahead and lace this guy with a healthy amount of the Ultra Gel control. So we'll kind of twist this just a tad to get it started. And we want to hold it, and we want to screw this thing on using the screw, not the ball. Let's see, we're about to hit the center there. Perfect. And that's what I meant by that guide a minute ago. We want that to be there so it tells us, hey, stop. I also got a little bit of glue on the tip of my screwdriver here, because I added a lot. I added a lot of that Ultra Gel in there, and you can see it's just kind of came out. But that's all right. I don't mind that. I want that all to dry and stay there. And what I can probably do as well right here is I can take that little pin I showed you earlier that I used to, free this super glue whenever it's got a blockage in it, and we can take it right here and I don't think it's gonna show up as good as I want it to, but right now there's like a crack. I told you where it cracked on that peg, which is fine. What we can do is all of that excess gel, you can just kind of spread it right there on it. This isn't really going to matter because this peg has a ton of room to move around inside the monkey's diaphragm. Excuse me, the Krieghoff. But, just so it looks pretty. And I just touched the end of that with all that glue on it. Great. Ugh. I can be very careful now. I just touched that with that glue. I just don't want to touch the monkey. I don't want to get glue on the ape. Oh, gosh, I just touched all that glue. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can finish this on the stream due to this there being so much adhesive in here that I actually need this to dry before I put this in. But all you're going to have to do is heat these up and pop this in. What you can do is you can go through and actually drill these little nubs off that are on here. They're not necessary because the hold in here, the cavity is so the hold is so tight that they don't need it. But I know how some of us get a little nervous, so I definitely understand that. But what I usually will do is I can take the larger, what's the word? Burbot, and you can kind of go around inside of here. You can even take like a sanding bit if you want to, and just kind of, if you want, just kind of go around just a little bit. Like, I'll show you. This doesn't do any damage. You don't want to go crazy in here, but so let's extend this. Let's not go too fast. And you can go inside like so and just kind of I usually go in at an angle almost like that and then scoop up. Just keep in mind, it is a sphere, so you don't want it to be, you don't want to turn it into a cylinder. But a lot of times that can clean up any junk that could have been in there, any mess. And we'll do it over here too. Because it's kind of weird, like what's inside of this guy is threading. I always thought that was really interesting. We'll just kind of, just a little bit. It's a real low speed, but it's just enough to kind of clean out some of that stuff, smooth it slightly, so it doesn't get so hung up in there. And again, like I said, I did notice that Homeboy's elbow's a little loose. I could guarantee you the reason this is loose is that if I heated this up and I popped this peg out, I wouldn't be surprised if this peg is broken inside of here. Like it's disconnected almost. I bet it's broken either in half here or over here, and it's just being held on just barely. What you can do in a situation like that, if you don't want to open it up, we could repair the peg, obviously, if we needed to, or you can do the super glue trick, because you can see over here that this one's loose as well. And you'll notice if it shows on camera, I don't know if it will, but whenever I twist the arm, when I bend the arm like this peg is moving with it. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. it's weird because, oh, you can actually see the other side. Let's see. I thought there was a cap on it. Okay, well, maybe it's not broke. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. Or I've seen this happen before. What happens is it breaks the tips off of the pegs, so those break off, and you lose that tightness. And so you've got a thicker piece here in the center, and then the thinner piece is off on the edges, and that's what's keeping it on. Um, you don't actually have to, like I said, take it off of here. What you can do is, while this is drying, I can show you a little trick. All you have to do is spend a couple bucks, get you some of these precision tips for super glue, and you'll need a pair of scissors. So let's see here. I think that's probably good. You need to cut these to fit the size that you want, because if you didn't, you'd be wasting a ton of glue. Let's get this out of the way. This monkey's being feisty. And so we're going to go back to the JV Super Weld. What you want to make sure too is that the tip of the super glue applicator is free of any adhesive that could have dried or whatnot. Usually what I'll do is I'll take pliers and I'm not just clamping down on this. I know it looks like that, but I'm gently trying to kind of scrape away whatever residue might be here, just to make this a little easier. Okay, and then what you do is you take the precision tip, goes on like so, and then what you'll do is you will just make sure it's on there good enough. It feels a little loose. Usually they're not that loose. So the glue will now run through here, run through the tip. It's about right here right now. Okay, and what you can do is, I prefer, if I'm gonna do a joint tighten like this, I like to go in through a back seam, just so there's no, it's less visible. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little drop of glue in there. Yeah, that is a little loose, man. That thing came right off of there. Okay. And we'll go in the other side as well. What we're trying to do is basically hit that peg in there. Okay. We'll bend. Give a little bend. And what that should do is it'll tighten up in the pieces right here. The walls, essentially. You don't want to go crazy. You don't want to squirt like just a insane amount of glue in there, but you just want to be real careful. This is a practice that you definitely want to practice. It's, glue can be very unpredictable. Know that. Respect the glue. What was it in the Mario Brothers movie? Trust the fungus. You gotta do that. Des Ref Fan. Nah, man. Dave's internet is out right now, so I decided to do a stream. I was gonna be on his tonight actually because I had some stuff to work on, and unfortunately, from what I heard, he might be back on Thursday, but don't count that out. Keep an eye on him for any updates. We might be on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But excuse me, he might be on tomorrow. So this is what basically this is the old super glue trick, you know, only a little more advanced, I guess. You have to be very careful doing this, just because you can't actually see where you're applying it. So you just want to make sure that it's going to be, you know, where you want, and don't use too much. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more just because this thing's loose. And like I said, the client did not ask me to do this, but I really, really, really respect Mike Mignola's work, and I think these figures are awesome. I own I own just a couple. I wish I had more. I wish I would have bought these. I wish I would have been reading Hellboy when these were around. I'm a late bloomer on that. I always absolutely adored Abe Sapien, still do. For those of you that know me, I love aquatic characters. Yeah, but HB's awesome too, man. What a cool character. But anyways, Desra fan, am I hyped for SDCC? There's a lot of cool stuff. I'm kind of brokenhearted about Chuckles. That's one of my favorite GI Joes of all time. Like so much so that I dressed up as him for Halloween a couple years ago. Um, and I'm not gonna be able to get him because you have to be at SDCC in order to get him. And I'm sure it's gonna be some kind of exclusive time. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna put those out later on or how that's gonna work. It looked like they said you had to get in the line, you had to get a code, and then you can order them online. And I'm just really that one hurts a lot. That sucks because I couldn't do Wild Bill. Um, and that one sucks too because he's one of my favorites as well. But I was like, man, I can't do the HasLab. That's a lot. Um, I think if I would have chilled on some pre-orders, I definitely could have made the HasLab happen. But I'm not doing it just for Wild Bill, and I got no place to put that helicopter. Even though if that would have been the Tiger Force paint job on that helicopter, I would have done it. I don't know if they're putting it on Pulse or not. If they are, man, that would just make me super happy. But that's yeah, and I'm sure there's a re-release. It's just me being me. If it's one of my favorite characters, like I try to collect, everything of that character. And let's face it, Chuckles doesn't have a whole lot. There's just not a lot of that. I have the 3 3/4 inch. I have two. Somehow I ended up with a second one. One's not complete. But I do have a Chuckle. I do have the Chuckles figures. I love him. It's one of my favorite characters from GI Joe. But it is what it is. You know, there's some really cool stuff. I've seen them posting, and I don't know. It's just pretty neat. But the only thing, like, I don't think there's any exclusives that I really want. Honestly, that I've seen. I'm excited for the reveals. I think that'll be really cool. But be awesome. Those days of having to be there is bull. They're hurting for money too bad. I know, right? Yeah, that's what I thought, man. I was like, that seems crazy to me, but all right, y'all do your thing. Do whatever it is you got to do. I'm gonna make sure that this is coming out the way I want it to come out. Come on. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Don't you Ooh, that got wild. That got wild. Man, that's a bad precision tip. I've never had one come off like that. Whew. Sometimes you gotta make the sacrifice for the greater good. um, so yeah, now I've got glue on my hands. Bruh. Stupid. I have Torpedo on the way. Yeah, I think my Torpedo will be on the way as well. I think I haven't pre-ordered though through like Amazon or BBTS or something like that. I got Rock and Roll and I got Shipwreck in, and those are awesome figures, man. The only thing that sucks about my Shipwreck was he's got a chunk taken out of his hat. He's got this little bite. It looks like Polly took a bite out of the front of his little cap, his sailor hat. So that sucks. It's not like, I mean, even if that would have been in store, it's not like I would have known due to the windowless packaging. So I was like, oh, well, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, man, I think this stuff is just gonna take a while to dry, and I do not want to mess with it. Any pre-orders coming in? I just got my my Mofex Scarlet Spiders. Yeah, it's plural. Like I said, if I would have chilled on pre-orders, I don't buy doubles of imports, but I do if it's my favorite character. And Scarlet Spider, that's the spider for me. So I got two of them, like a crazy man. Had to had to do a lot of repair work for that one. I got in. What did I get in? I think I've got so the Werebear's on his way. The Greedy Doctor's on his way, which is the Bob Toys line, which is probably my favorite toy line. Those movie museum figures are incredible. Just some of the best clothing work I've seen as far as and quality, everything about that. Speaking of like surprises, and I don't have it out with me right now, and maybe we'll see if tomorrow if Dave's up. But I got the oh crap, Leatherface from Mezco, which I swear I've been waiting longer. I waited longer on him than I did for Constantine, and I can say this that the Mezco Leatherface is an absolute 10. I mean, blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. The double arm, I can't believe he's got double elbows, double knees. Everything about him is great. The articulation, like I said, he's got three heads. He's got the jacket, and it fits him perfectly to where you raise him up for his dancing pose, and it comes down a little bit here. He's got his bracelet. The chainsaw makes sounds, which is silly but kind of cool. Don't know why. That probably raised the price up somehow, which was not necessary at all. I don't know how anybody's going to use that, but it is a cool feature. Man, is he amazing. I ordered Leatherface from Mezco, directly from. I pre-ordered it years ago. In fact, I could probably tell you when I pre-ordered that if you give me a second. Let's see here. Mezco Toys with a Z. Because, you know. Oh, is it MezcoCon? They're wanting to do this now? Oh, that Indiana Jones is not for me, though. Oof. Oh, they've got like... Okay. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me check. Let's see what we got here. I am looking right now. I should have had it shared on my screen. So, when did I order this? Let's see here. Next page. This was forever ago, it feels like. Straight up forever ago. I need to find the, I guess the order number. I don't order just a ton from Mezco, but I always say that, and I think whenever I go and check on all of the stuff I've ordered, you know, like if I look at a back order, I'm surprised at how much I actually have ordered. Let's see here. Okay, 162381637. 162818367. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Because it was substantial. I didn't think it was actually going to come. There it is. Okay, so I ordered this October 28th of 2020. Man, we were almost 3 years. That took almost 3 years to get here. Isn't that crazy? 2020, man, for me, Hank. That's nuts. But dude, that I'm glad I got him. I like the size on him. Brian, let's see what you're talking about. Getting a... Oh yeah, the Mofex. Some people don't like the small spider logo on his jacket. Some people don't mind it, like me. I think that figure is wonderful. I don't know. I've been noticing that. Well, I mean, for the longest time, I really could care less what anybody else thinks about these figures, because I'm buying them. But I've been seeing a lot of weird hate on figures out there that doesn't make sense. it never does, I guess. I mean, I think if you like it, you like it, and I'm sure you've heard tons of people do that. But oh my gosh, ridiculous! Did I pay for it in 2020? Yeah, yep. I paid for that one with PayPal, so it was like immediate payment. Bop, done. And now I just waited the whole time. But crazy. As far as other pre-orders coming, like I think I said it, I've got the Werebear coming in, which I was really excited for that figure, and then I'm tripping, but it feels like somewhere during production that they started exposing like more bare skin on him, and I don't like that as much. I want it fur, so I might have to sculpt that on, which might be. I think it'd be worth it. I just want a big bear. I don't really need. I just wanted. I thought it was going to be a giant Ursa Major, and now he's like it's like a dude who turned, I guess, werebeared out. I'm like, dang it. Just wanted a big old bear. Because I want him to wrestle my Zangief. That's all I bought that figure for. And honestly, they're like saying that there's a 10% chance that you could get a panda. And people are freaking out about the panda. I'm like, I don't want a panda. I just want the brown bear. I just want a brown bear for my big Russian, the Cyclone, to fight him. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. I'm not sure if I've got any more pre-orders coming through. I hope not, because it's been a little wild. We had all those turtles come out for NECA, and then more turtles, and then more turtles. I was like, oh God, would they please stop? What else did I got something else in? Oh, I got a really cool figure in. I got the Muff Toys Loki, and that figure is super cool. I don't know if he's in reach. I don't think he is. Gorgeous figure, man. Really, really good likeness on Hiddleston. But not only that, but it's just like all of the soft goods are really good, and just a really cool figure. I've seen a lot of stuff. Oh, another one, man, that I've been gushing over are the AWOC figures, the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Oh my gosh, they're nuts good. It's crazy how good those figures are. I would love to like find the time to do a review over those, just because you'll see it. You'll see it in my, like, just in my face, and messing with it, how much fun those figures are. The articulation is awesome. It got me really excited for the Odious figure. Also, congrats to Unparalleled Universe. I hope y'all backed the Odious deal, even though Wade is, God, he's just the worst. He's the worst. He's not the worst. He's the worst. No, man, it's so awesome to see, not just Wade, because I mean, without him, I honestly, he's the one that kind of just pushed me into streaming, so I always thank him for that, which I think is really cool. But how cool is it for one of us to make a figure and get it backed and funded? And then all those people that said, I was like one, like I wanted it to succeed. I put my money in to back it because I wanted it to succeed. But in the back of my head, I'm a pessimist a lot of times. I was like, I just don't know. I just don't know. And I think it's a total testament to his character and perseverance. And I mean, I'll be damned if he didn't make it happen. Even got a little extra in there, which is crazy. But like he said, I know you could see it in his face whenever he got it done. He's happy, but he knows the work isn't done. And I think that's once again a testament to Wade's character, is that he's in it and he knows he has to deliver a product now. The money's in, it's go time. It's not, you haven't really hit that finish line yet. And I respect him for that. I hope he's not stressing too much. I hope he got some sleep. But I would be a nervous wreck. There's a few things that I've thought about doing on Kickstarter as well. Nothing to that extent, not a figure, anything like that. But there's a few ideas I've had, and I'm just like, I kind of back off because I'm like, man, yeah, no harm, no foul, I guess. But it's like, I think you would take a hit to your gut if you didn't, make it happen. But oh, Unparalleled Universe is live right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, whoops. I haven't done this in forever. So Well, you know what? And this has been a good one. This has been good, nice getting our getting back into it. I will hop off of here, and you guys should go over to the Unparalleled Universes stream. Then that'd be awesome, man. But yeah, thank you guys for showing up. Hopefully, I can do some more streams here soon. This was fun. It was good to take a big break from this. I'm not gonna come back like full time just because it's a little too much sometimes. You know, you want to take a break. I do miss you guys though a lot. Like I really miss you guys. You guys are awesome. I want to. I'll end this with a big thank you to all of my patrons. I'll put them up on the screen. Let's see if I can remember it. Let's see if I can remember all of them. I've got Esteban Brazza, my man Nacho. I've got Billy Moon, who's just he's the best giving. He's the best giving Billy. I can't compete with him. I just can't. We've got Maximo, man. What a freaking kick ass dude. Really cool guy. All these guys are awesome, but Maximo's not really big in the chat scene and all this stuff, but he's amazing. Really cool guy. Really patient guy. Let's see, so that's 3. Hang on. Chrisman, my man Chrisman. I got Jumpgate used to be Geek Mechanics. Jumpgate Customs is one. Brian Williams. We got Dave Wonder. I got Samurai Chris. Oh man, I feel like I'm missing somebody right now and they're gonna kick me in the head. Yeah. Who's it gonna be? Bros Creeper. He's gonna kill me. I talk to Jay all the time, and I love that guy so much. I sometimes forget that people are patrons, man, because all these people are like my friends now, and it's weird to be like, "Hey, you guys want to sub to the Patreon?" And then I just become really great friends with these people because we have a Patreon exclusive chat. I try to do it every Sunday, and they tend to go for hours long, and we're just in there video chatting it up. The Discord's actually free, but if you want to be part of those chats with us on Sunday, that costs. I want to say it's like, I think I've got like a $3 tier. It's like 3, 6, and 10. I've got a 1 as well. I don't know, guys. If you guys want to, he's gonna know. Jay's gonna know. He's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, "Really, Billy? Oh my god, he's gonna kill me." I forget, man. Like I said, man, I forget that these people are patrons a lot of times, and I'm just like, that it humbles me pretty greatly to just have, I don't know, friends who are willing to put into the to Toycanics. As you can see, I'm still at it, guys. I never stopped, never technically stopped repairing. I just kind of stopped streaming. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you guys go. Love you guys. It's good to be back. Thank you so much for showing up tonight for this short, random, crazy stream. Keep an eye on my Instagram, Bill Maru Toycanics, and you'll get to see this thing fully assembled. This is just gonna take a while to dry, and I just don't want to chance it. You know what I mean? So, take care, guys, and I will end with you getting to look at my beautiful patrons' names, especially Creeper Creations, who is one of the coolest guys around. Y'all take care. I really, really, really do love you, Jay.